Hey guys, welcome back to Diecast Reviews. Subs review on some RS 24-hour endurance race next gens that Mattel released all the way back in 2020, 2021. I believe this is 2021. Before we had the Glow Racers, before we had the GRC releases that Mattel's going to do this year in the summer. Actually, they're starting to come out, I think, in Greece and whatnot. This is the series that we had. I don't even think this was part of XRS, which was like a different thing that Mattel did kind of after Cars 3 came out, 2018, 2019. This was just kind of its own thing. But it was pretty cool. It was similar to the Glow Racers in the fact that it kind of advertised a color shift or a change in the paint job. You see, this is kind of when you shift the light, you're supposed to get a paint job change. You can see right here, he's green. But when you kind of turn it here, you've got brown. So it kind of changes depending on how the light shines on it. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they didn't really release that much of it. I think this came out kind of end of 2021, the 2021 line. And they never really continued on with it. They did release some cool next gens. Some kind of, not Tim Treadless, but some kind of interesting and unique ones. JD McPillar, obviously one. Rich Mixon's a pretty cool one that they released in this line as well. So he flipped over Michael Rotor and Sheldon Shifter here. So it's pretty cool. But some of the complaints I've had with the Cars 3 kind of lines that they did, speech racers or whatever. It was Fireball Beach racers, the sandy ones they did. Obviously, the mud racers. I think they were called mud racers, right? They've done drag racers. They did rocket racers. They did a lot of them. All the XRS stuff, and even this one here, even glow racers. A lot of the cars they're ever going to get a complete set of it, right? Because I don't think it was for this one. I'm pretty sure they didn't mix for this one, but even still, even just for a next gen set, you're never gonna get 35 next gens released, right, in a set like this. And then for some of them, like the Fireball Beach Racer, or I think Fireball Beach 2, they mixed some stock cars and next gens. So you're never gonna get there's 35 of each. You're never gonna get 70 releases made, right? So you're never gonna get a complete set. Whereas the T-Rock racers all the way back before Cars 3, 2014, 2015, some of the better days for cars collecting, in my opinion, kind of hit a lull a little bit. I'd say we're on the rise in cars collecting with Cars on the Road coming out. I'd say we're back on a rise for cars collecting right now. But 2014, 2015, those are some great days. And the T-Rock series they were pretty cool. And there was only 11 to release, 12 because sometimes they released like an extra car here and there just for the ice racer they released, the Russian racer, Vitaly Petrov. Just for fun, why not? But there was really only 11 or 12 to collect, and they would release them. They would release 11 for Carbon Racers, Carnival Racers, for all. They released 11. You got a complete set, and that was pretty cool. It's always cool to get a complete set, right? So I think with GRC, they're kind of going back to that T-Rock formula. I mean, because with these ones, they're all over the place, right? They release like 5 to 7 here, 5 to 7 there. But you're never going to get a complete set. You just got a bunch of like random ones in the collection, but I think that's kind of what they're going back. At least I'm hoping they're going back to that with GRC, where they're going to focus on the World Grand Prix racers, because I think those are some very kind of underappreciated and underrated releases. As I've said before, I really enjoy the World Grand Prix racers, and I think they're a little underrated. But they're going back to that and really focusing on them and getting a complete set. Tone down how many cars you have to work with. Instead of 70, get it down to 11, but work on each of those 11 and come out with a complete set. And I think that'd be pretty cool. But regardless, before we get to the GRC, we'll take a look at these here. Obviously, we've got Sheldon Shifter here. There's the back. I believe the back is the same for all. They're actually different. But you can see Rich Mixon, Chase Raceline, JD McPillar, and McQueen with his Cars 2 body, surprisingly. Flipped over here. McQueen, Sheldon Shifter, Michael Rotor, and Jackson Storm. And then Michael Rotor here. Jackson Storm flipped over, Sheldon Shifter, and McQueen. So, but yeah, that's enough rambling. A little bit of a rant there, I'm sorry. But I just kind of had to talk about it because I feel like these were fine. But I like that they're going back and focusing more on the Cars 2 and maybe getting a complete set. But anyways, that's enough yapping from me. We'll be right back with all these. So here are the three out of the package. They do look great. We'll go through them one by one. Yeah, let's start off with the Sheldon Shifter here. Now, you'll notice the colors are a little bit duller, especially when you compare it, like the 3 here to the 3 normal releases. A lot duller colors, but that's, of course, to, I guess, get the paint kind of to work to change colors when you shine the light on it. Definitely, you can kind of see that this is green, a green Sheldon Shifter here. Kind of like a forest green color. I think when you turn it here, you're going to see it become brown. Yeah, you can kind of see it become brown there. Green, the brown. It's just how the color, the light shines on it, kind of changes the speckle. Or I don't even know how it works. But I'm assuming it kind of changes the way the color reflects the light. That's what makes it brown instead of green, I guess. But yeah, obviously, Sheldon Shifter. Here's the normal version of Sheldon Shifter. Sputter Stop 92. Obviously, one of the bigger changes in the next gen Piston Cup or stock car to next gen schemes. Obviously, Sputter Stop had a lot of orange going with it, not a lot of brown. I think it's 0 brown. Now it's mostly brown. Kind of normal Sheldon Shifter here reminds me of like a mint chocolate chip ice cream or whatever with mint and brown. But you can see the expression is left basically the same. These are made in Vietnam. I should mention this was back when they made all this stuff in Vietnam. Let's see, now they don't, but back then they did. You can see the hood, a little different, sort of 3 mint kind of blocks. They only have 1 there. But other than that, the design's basically the same. You can see they kind of narrowed down some of the mint kind of design, like the actual mint blocks, whatever. A little bit less of them there on the side. Still Sputter Stop 92 there. Don't have rookie stripes, which is a nice touch. Obviously, this is kind of set after Cars 3, so they're not rookies anymore. So that's honestly a pretty nice touch by Mattel. Good attention to detail that I'm a little surprised they had. You can see this side, actually, they kept the blocks, or I don't know, the design, whatever. They kept it on this side. They did not keep it on the other side. You can see the rims are different colors as well here. They're white. Instead of the mint that they had on the normal release. See the roofs, basically identical. The spoilers are different though. You've got RS 24 hours here, and then you've got Sputter Stop on that one. And yeah, I think there's a little blurb. I'm not actually sure if there's a blurb on the back here. There's just something about it. There's a little bit of blurb actually. Harder, faster, sleeker. The 24-hour race is on, and these next-gen racers are ready to push themselves to the limits. Now, I don't know how changing colors, what that has to do with it, but there you go. Yeah, another thing with some of these, like XRS releases, some of them were a little, like, interesting. Like Rocket Racer, like, that was a very interesting idea. I'm not really sure what they were going for there, but the T-Rock racers in GRC now, I mean, they were at least realistic, right? You had the Carnival paint job. For carbon racers, they had a little bit of carbon added on, but you know, it wasn't that much. It seemed realistic for neon racers as well. They had the neon lights, which is not out of the realm of possibility. But for X, like, where do you get rockets to put on cars? Like, the drag race, I guess those were fine, but, you know, some of them just a little out there. And I'm glad Mattel is kind of returning to, well, worked. And I think T-Rock worked. I did like the T-Rocks. Seriously. But that is all for Sheldon Shifter. Let's move on to flipped over here. Obviously, flipped over, flipped over. It's the same expression as well. As you can see, the difference in the colors. It's a very dark kind of brown as well. Kind of like a metallic kind of rose almost, I don't know. Bronze. And then you flip it and he becomes pink. Although I'm not sure how much that shows up on camera, but yeah, he's kind of dark paint here, and then when you flip him over here, it's kind of like a rose bronze color. Got the intersection logo. Pretty cool sponsor actually, and I think it fits with the times. Obviously, back when cars came out in 2006, online dating wasn't really that much of a thing, but obviously 2017 more of a thing. So I think pretty cool how they kind of changed with the times and added a sponsor that makes sense for current day, I guess. Pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it would make sense in real life. And 00 is a pretty cool number, and I guess kind of looks like the infinity sign or an intersection. I don't know, but pretty cool. See, no rookie stripes here either. For flipped over here, yeah, the design looks basically identical. I don't really see any differences. You can see the road. I guess they did get rid of this road right here. You can see that road there. They got rid of it on the 24-hour racer. But other than that, yeah, no rookie stripes, pretty nice. Other than that, the design's basically the same, which I guess is nice. We've got the updated spoiler there as well. Intersection RS 24 hours. Pretty cool. Let's move on to the last one, and maybe the least. I don't know. Maybe not the least. They're all very similar in the fact that they're all very, you know, mundane colors. But here's Michael Rotor, the Zeen racer. The expression is just slightly different, just because of the eyes seem a little bit closer together. Although I think these are all China releases actually. Yeah, I think these are all China. The original ones at least. Yeah, these are all China. So yeah, these are Vietnam. So I guess these guys look a little closer to the Thailand version, I guess, than the Chinese version. But anyways, there you go. You can see the expression is the same. Let's take a look at his color here. He's kind of what, a little kind of purple, I guess. A little kind of metallic purple there, and then you flip him, and he's still kind of metallic purple. I don't know, maybe he's a little more blue. I don't know. Not really sure, how they make that work. It always doesn't work. I think I don't remember which one, but there's definitely one that was very clear. It may have been Jack the Storm, actually. I think he went from black to blue. McQueen, I remember, I think he went from like orange to red, so that one wasn't very clear. But I think Jackson went from blue to black, and that one was pretty obvious. That one was probably the best example. Again, not sure what that has to do with the actual race and how that would help them for 24 hours, but regardless. So if Zeen, they got rid of the VZ, so it's just Zeen there. Kept the racing strip there, kept the VZ on the side, the VZ on the side. So not sure what the point of getting rid of it off the hood was. So 39. Yeah, that's all the same. Kept the rims the same as well. They didn't even make them one. At least they got rid of the rookie stripes here as well. You can only read the Zeen text better on the 24-hour version than on the actual version. I'll give them that. Because it's blue on blue, and here it's blue on like purple. Got the racing strips that make sense as well there. See the spoiler, 24 hours race. We've got Zeen there on the normal one. And then this side, see, the same. Yeah, I'm not sure what the point of getting rid of the VZ on the hood was, especially since they kept it on the side. You've got the racing strips there on the roof. And I guess we can see the base here. The date stamp is 1481S. I don't know how to read that one. That's not a normal Thailand one. But there you go, 1481. 148th day of 2021 is what I'll take that to be. Sheldon Shifter here is DXV41. They're actually 338 0SD, so that's 338th day of 2020. So I guess that was an early 2021 release. And flipped over is 191. So I guess that was a later 2021 release. 148. So yeah, flipped over was the latest one to be made, last one to be made. He was Mattel, and then Sheldon Shifter, I guess, was an early 2021 release. But yeah, I don't recall. I don't think these RS-24 racers really sold that well. I also don't think a lot of the times, obviously, the later waves, they really don't hit stores, right? Like stores kind of get the first wave or maybe the second wave in, and they kind of hang on the pegs, and then you're not really going to get the second wave in that much because stores don't want them because they haven't sold the first batch yet. So they end up going to, if they do get on store shelves, it's very limited. A lot of them end up going to like Marshalls and Ross and those discount stores. That's kind of what happened with the NASCAR stuff. Why Rowdy Busch ended up being so expensive because stores just didn't really get in that last wave. The same thing happened with the Carbon Cyber Racers from T-Rock all the way back 2016. Back when like the first wave had like 8 or 7 or whatever, I think it was 7, and then the last wave had 4, and those last 4 never really got into stores because the stores got so much of those first 7 cars, and I mean they were hanging on the pegs for a year. They never got the second wave in because they never had space for it, and those ended up really never hitting the U.S. If they did in very limited numbers. But yeah, it's kind of the problem with these series sometimes that the second and third waves kind of get overlooked because of how clogged up the first shelves. Or even with the glow racers, you're kind of seeing that, right? Cruise, well, they haven't really gotten any cases. My truck has kind of stopped getting cases in, but the first wave, the Cruise, McQueens, and Mayors hung on the pegs forever, and they got maybe a case of the Fillmore Chase and Will case. Those are 2 different cases, but whatever. They got just a brief amount of those in, but the first ones who hung on the pegs and are still on, you can still go down to a Target and probably find a Cruise. So even the glow racers, we're seeing that. Hopefully that doesn't happen with GRC because they're kind of they're part of the main line, right? So they're not going to be a separate case, or they're not going to cost more because I think the glow racer stuff costs more, maybe $1 more. But these are going to be part of the main line, so they're not going to cost more, and they're maybe not going to be pegged on the shelves, hanging on the shelves for a while because stores are going to get like 5 McQueens per case. But regardless, that's enough rambling. A lot of rambling in this video, but a lot of things to talk about that are not vaguely related to these. I mean, the cars itself, the RS 24 hours, I can see kind of why they stopped them. They're pretty cool, but the colors are very dull. It's just kind of boring. I mean, from a distance, they all look the same. Whereas the normal ones from a distance obviously look very different. They're kind of cool. The feature, it works. I mean, barely, but it does. You can, if you move it around, you can kind of get the colors to change. But other than that, it's very similar to the actual version of the cars. The design-wise, it's like the decals and stuff. But it's pretty cool. It's a cool idea, the concept of getting the color to change without actually, doing much. But I can see why they kind of stopped it. And again, this was kind of like, it was a random series, and it worked. It was okay. But the GRC looks much better. I'll say that much. But let me know what you thought. What do you guys think of the RS 24-hour series back when that was? How many did you buy? Did you buy the whole set that they released? Let me know what you think of that down in the comments below. But that's it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.